Someone just wants to ask for the time, but the other person thinks they're confessing their love and runs away blushing. Have you ever had one of those days where everything you do is just awkward? Like, you're just trying to exist, and somehow you become the main character in someone else's romantic comedy. Well, let me tell you about my Tuesday. It was a day that will live in infamy, at least in my personal history of cringeworthy moments. So, picture this, I'm at the library. Yes, the library. The supposed sanctuary of silence and studiousness. I was deep in the zone, researching for a massive project, surrounded by towers of books that probably hadn't been touched since the 90s. My phone was dead, a classic rookie mistake, I know. I'd lost all track of time, which is both a blessing and a curse when you're on a deadline. The sun was starting to set, painting the dusty windows with streaks of orange and purple, and a little panic started to creep in. I needed to know if I had an hour left or just 5 minutes before they kicked me out. There was a clock on the wall, but it was one of those old-school analog ones, and from my seat, the hands just looked like two blurry lines. My brain was too fried from reading to do the whole big hand, little hand calculation from a distance. I needed a direct answer. That's when I saw her. She was sitting a few tables away, looking like she'd just stepped out of a Pinterest board. She had this cool, artsy vibe, with headphones on, sketching in a notebook. In my sleep-deprived, caffeine-fueled state, I thought, she looks friendly and she has a smartwatch. Perfect. So I gathered all my courage, which wasn't much at that point, and decided to approach. This is where it all goes downhill, folks. I walked over, trying to look as non-threatening as possible. You know the walk, the one where you're trying to be quiet, but you end up making more noise? My shoe squeaked on the linoleum. Squeaked. Loudly. She looked up, startled, and pulled off her headphones. She had these big, expressive eyes, and right now, they were wide with curiosity. My brain, which was already malfunctioning, decided to completely short-circuit. All the simple, normal ways to ask for the time evaporated. Sentences like, "Excuse me, do you have the time?" Or, "Sorry to bother you, could you tell me what time it is?" just vanished. Instead, I stood there, frozen for a solid 3 seconds, which felt like an eternity. I could feel my face getting warm. I just pointed vaguely at my own wrist, where a watch should have been, but wasn't. Then, my mouth opened and what came out was not a coherent question. It was a jumble of words, a verbal train wreck. I stammered something like, time. You have me? It sounded less like a question and more like a caveman trying to propose a lifelong partnership. I was mortified. I could literally feel the blood draining from my face and then rushing back with a vengeance. Her expression changed. Her eyes went from curious to something else. A flicker of confusion, then surprise, and then, was that a blush? Her cheeks turned a lovely shade of pink. A slow smile started to spread across her face. Before I could correct myself, before I could scream, nitrogen monoxide, I just need the time. My phone is dead and I'm a disaster. She did the unthinkable. She started packing her bag, like in a hurry. She was shoving her sketchbook, her pens, her headphones into her tote bag with frantic energy, all while not breaking eye contact with me. The smile was still there, but now it was shy, a little flustered. My brain was screaming, "Abort mission! Abort! Say something! Anything!" But my mouth was on strike. It refused to cooperate. I just stood there, a statue of social ineptitude, watching this scene unfold. She stood up, slung her bag over her shoulder, and took a step towards me. My heart hammered in my chest. I thought, oh, okay, maybe she's just going to whisper the time so we don't disturb anyone. That made sense, right? Wrong. So wrong. She leaned in close, and for a split second, I could smell her perfume. It was something light and nice, like vanilla and books. She whispered, but what she whispered wasn't. It's 6:45. No, she whispered, I need some time to think about it. But, thank you. And then she turned and practically ran out of the library. I was left standing there, in the middle of the quiet section, with every remaining student now staring at me. The squeaky-shoed weirdo who apparently just made the most intense, non-verbal confession in the history of the written word. I just stood there for a full minute replaying the entire interaction in my head. My desperate, time-seeking gesture. My garbled, nonsensical words. Her blush. Her panicked packing. Her whispered, "I need time to think about it." It hit me like a ton of bricks. She thought I was asking her out. Not just asking her out, but confessing some deep, unspoken love for her. My desperate plea for the time had been interpreted as a profound romantic overture. Me, the person whose most successful relationship is with my pizza delivery guy, had somehow managed to make a girl think I was ready to give her my heart, right there next to the history section. The sheer absurdity of it was overwhelming. I wanted the floor to swallow me whole. I wanted to rewind time. Oh, the irony, and just stay in my seat. I would have happily been locked in the library overnight rather than endure this. I slowly shuffled back to my table, my face burning with a level of embarrassment I didn't know was possible. I avoided eye contact with everyone. I could feel their gazes on my back, probably whispering, "There's the guy." The library lover. I packed up my own stuff, my project completely forgotten. My only goal was to escape. As I walked out, the security guard at the front desk gave me a knowing little smirk and a thumbs up. A thumbs up. The entire world was now in on my fake, accidental love story. I spent the entire walk home replaying it. How could it have gone so wrong? How could you have the time? Get so lost in translation? I realized my awkward pointing, my stammering, my general state of panic. It was the perfect recipe for a rom-com misunderstanding. I was the bumbling protagonist, and she was the charming love interest who was now, presumably at home, pondering my very heartfelt, albeit completely unintentional, confession. What was I supposed to do now? Do I go back to the library tomorrow and try to find her? Do I hold up a sign that says, "I'm sorry, I just wanted the time"? What if she says yes? Yes to what? A date? A relationship? A lifetime of me explaining that it all started because my phone died. This whole experience taught me a valuable lesson. 1. Always charge your phone. 2. Maybe invest in a $10 watch. And 3. If you're going to talk to someone, maybe form the sentence in your head before you let it fall out of your mouth like a pile of alphabet soup. I still don't know what time it was when I left the library. But I do know that somewhere out there a girl is thinking about my very serious, very romantic proposal. And I'm just here hoping I never have to ask a stranger for the time ever again, so that's my story. The day I accidentally confessed my undying love in the quietest place on earth. It was awkward, it was mortifying, but hey, at least it's a good story, right? Let me know in the comments if you've ever had a misunderstanding this epic. It would make me feel a whole lot better. Thanks for listening to my tale of woe and accidental romance. If you enjoyed watching me relive my most embarrassing moment, if you like this kind of content, give me a like and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.